Is Justin Roiland innocent? Will Brooklyn Beckham regret his giant tattoo? And could AI technology destroy Hollywood? We're gonna answer all these questions in this video. First up, in a surprising turn of events, the charges against Justin Roiland have been dropped. The creator of Rick and Morty has officially broken his silence about everything that's been going on. He posted a statement on Twitter that read, "I have always known that these claims were false, and I never had any doubt that this day would come. I'm thankful that this case has been dismissed, but at the same time, I'm deeply shaken by the horrible lies that were reported about me during this process. Most of all, I'm disappointed that so many people were so quick to judge without knowing the facts, based solely on the word of an embittered ex trying to bypass due process and have me cancelled. That it may have succeeded even partially is shameful. However, now that the legal case has ended, I'm determined to move forward and focus on my creative projects and restoring my good name." Under the post, fans really seem to be divided about this latest news. Some of them think that this is just another case of cancel culture gone wrong, and that Justin deserves an apology from anyone who doubted him. But while Justin might be celebrating the news, not everyone feels the same way. People were quick to point out that he wasn't actually cleared of domestic violence. His case was dropped due to insufficient evidence, which doesn't actually mean that it didn't happen. Not only that, but it doesn't erase everything else that's come out about him since the initial allegations. Dozens of screenshots surfaced online of inappropriate messages that he had sent to underage girls. These were all posted across the internet for everyone to see, so it was very difficult to come to his defense after that. Later on, a musician by the name of Ali Goetz posted private messages of Justin using racist slurs. And that's not even getting into all the toxic workplace allegations. A bombshell report was published by The Hollywood Reporter, featuring stories from several of his former colleagues. They chose to remain anonymous, of course, but it didn't make the revelations any less shocking. They said that he would skip important meetings, cancel last minute, or arrive drunk. They also claimed that he once paraded an adult film star through the office and openly discussed his sexual exploits with female writers. He was described as being petulant, uncommunicative, and grouchy, and many of his colleagues said that writing sessions were easier when he wasn't in the room. In response to his post, someone tweeted, "Justin Roiland pretending like this case being dropped is going to erase the countless workers and colleagues coming out of the woodwork for like a week straight to say how much of a crappy person and worker he is." But for the sake of the argument, let's just say that none of this turned out to be true. If that was really the case, and it was all just a bunch of empty allegations, why would Adult Swim fire the star of their most successful show? Think about it, it doesn't really make sense. They would have had to have something really concrete on him to even consider making that decision. After all, it's one of the most popular animated series ever created. The show's 6th season aired in September last year, and Cartoon Network have already ordered a 7th. This is all part of a long-term deal for 70 new episodes, so Adult Swim isn't even halfway through the insane episode order for the show. They obviously expected Justin Roiland to carry the rest of the series because he literally is Rick and Morty. Most people can agree that without him, it just won't be the same show. And yes, that's even if they ended up recasting someone with a similar voice. So no matter how you look at it, the network took a massive risk in firing their lead actor, and they wouldn't have done this unless they had a serious reason to do so. Yes, there was a lot of public pressure to remove him. After all, he was charged with felony domestic violence against a former girlfriend. More specifically, he was charged with 1 felony count of domestic battery with corporal injury, and 1 felony count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, and deceit. Before the case was dropped, Justin was facing up to 7 years in prison. After the news went public, he was also fired from his roles on Solar Opposites and Koala Man, and he ended up resigning from his company Squanch Games. So it really seems like the damage has already been done. Even if he manages to completely clear his name, it's unlikely that he's going to be able to get his job back, and that's something that his fans have really taken an issue with, because if he is innocent, a simple apology is not going to fix what's already happened. Either way, Justin is going to have a massive uphill battle if he ever wants to restore his reputation, and it's definitely not going to happen overnight. So do you think he deserves to remain cancelled, or has he been exonerated? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on, have you guys seen Brooklyn Beckham's new tattoo? It's really shocking. It's a massive portrait of his wife Nicola Peltz that he got on his upper arm. The 24-year-old showed off his new ink on the Jennifer Hudson show, and he did not disappoint. Brooklyn claimed that he has between 80 to 100 tattoos inked onto his body. He then showed off the portrait of Nicola by lifting up the sleeve of his jumper. He also revealed that he got some lyrics of the song that she walked down the aisle to. As we know, Brooklyn is one dedicated husband because he now has more than 20 tattoos of his wife. This includes his entire wedding vows on his arm, Nicola's eyes, and a love note that she wrote for him on the back of his neck. He also has the word married on the side of his hand and paid tribute to Nicola's late grandmother with the word Gina etched into his skin. He said, "It was my idea because I wanted to honor her family's last last name as well. And I thought when we have kids, it would be so cute to have little Peltz Beckhams running about. When asked about his plans to start a family, he said that he wants as many kids as his wife wants. So there's no doubt that he's extremely committed to her. In another interview last month, Brooklyn said that he started getting tattoos in honor of Nicola pretty soon after they started dating. He said, "I'm half covered with stuff for her. They're very addictive, especially when you love someone, you just want to cover everywhere." While Nicola doesn't have quite as many tattoos as Brooklyn, she does have his name inked in a cursive font. Brooklyn and Nicola started dating in October of 2019. They got serious very fast and made their relationship Instagram official in January of 2020. They got engaged less than a year into their romance, and these days it seems like they're happier than ever. Their relationship seems to be going great and they look like they're really enjoying married life. But you might be surprised to know that Brooklyn and Nicola are not exactly the internet's favorite couple. There's a few reasons for this, but the general consensus seems to be that they don't have any personality, despite the fact that they're literally everywhere these days. For a long time, there was also reports of Nicola being in a feud with her mother-in-law Victoria Beckham. This was said to have started when she refused to wear a wedding dress that Victoria designed. Although Nicola eventually cleared up the rumors and claimed that the dress simply couldn't be altered, and that's why she wouldn't wear it. Apart from the wedding drama, some people have also taken issue with certain tone-deaf comments that she has made in interviews. Last week, she spoke to Cosmopolitan UK and said that she would love to raise a family in New York, but she's decided to live in LA for work. At one point, she claims that she and Brooklyn are saving up money to get their dream house. There was nothing really weird about that statement itself because a lot of people have to save up for their dream house, but it was definitely a little strange that she chose to say it, given that she comes from an extremely wealthy family. If you didn't know, Nicola's father is Nelson Peltz. He's a businessman worth around $2.7 billion, so she's like Succession level rich. Not to mention the fact that Brooklyn also comes from a similar situation. That's really why her comments raised a few eyebrows. After all, why would they need to save up? But the criticism against them is not just from the fact that they both come from generational wealth. A lot of it is to do with the conversation surrounding nepotism right now. Unfortunately, the internet has labeled Brooklyn as the ultimate nepo baby, and it's become one of the longest running jokes ever. His ever-changing career seemed to have given him lasting meme status on Twitter. This all started around 2017 when one of his photography books got published by a major company. It was called What I See by Brooklyn Beckham, and it had one of his mirror selfies on the front cover. There was nothing really wrong with it, but the book itself offended a lot of people in the photography world who've probably been trying to get their work published for years. After that, Brooklyn tried to become a professional footballer, a model, a barista, and a chef. Then a few months ago, he went viral on TikTok for making yet another career change. In the clip that went around, Brooklyn was seen talking about his wife's outfit and explaining what he likes about it. It seemed innocent enough, but fans took to the comment section to accuse him of trying to become a stylist. People wrote things like, "Dude is cosplaying a different career every other week, and he's doing a free trial of everything." So it really seems like he can't catch a break. I mean, there's nothing wrong with exploring career options, but when you're the son of a football legend and a Spice Girl, everyone's going to have an opinion about it. Let's just hope that he doesn't let the jokes get to him and he eventually finds a career that he really enjoys. And now let's get a little dystopian. There is growing concern in the film industry that AI is going to completely destroy Hollywood. Recently, The Guardian released a terrifying report that reveals this is now a reality, and it's already happening. One thing's for sure, it's going to completely change the way we consume media. So far, we know that AI will be able to take on multiple roles in the industry. When it comes to script writing, it can be used to analyze existing screenplays and even create new ones. It can streamline a lot of the pre-production process, which includes casting, location scouting, and storyboarding. AI can also create more realistic and immersive special effects, and even help with the distribution. It can personalize movie recommendations for viewers and optimize distribution strategies, which might actually lead to higher ticket sales and revenue. AI can also be seen in visual effects like deepfakes and de-aging. But not all actors are happy about the technology. Last month, Keanu Reeves told Wired magazine that he has a clause in his film contract that bans studios from digitally editing his performances. He said, "If you go into deepfake land, it has none of your points of view. That's scary." Then there is also ChatGPT, which has taken the world by storm. You can use it to write essays, news reports, poems, and even pass your exams. So it's probably only a matter of time before it can churn out a whole script or turn a novel into a screenplay. But writers are not the only ones that are getting worried. Not even voice acting is safe. As a matter of fact, an advocacy group called the National Association of Voice Actors is now calling for stronger regulation. Their president released a statement saying, "The biggest concern is that we just don't know what's out there, and there's no way to track it and no way to find out if it's being used. For voice actors, a lot of how we make our living is based on the licensing of our voice. And so if we have an unlicensed version of our voice working for free, then that is instantly taking work away from us and money out of our pockets and hurting our ability to make a living. This new way to use AI definitely feels like a slippery slope, and it has potential to uproot even more jobs. Last year, the art world was fuming when a contestant took the blue ribbon in the Colorado State Fair's annual art competition, because unlike everyone else's work, his art was created by AI. This brought about mass outrage from other artists who accused him of cheating. They claimed that his work should not have been in the competition in the first place, because it was in the same category as art made by humans. And the fact that anyone can create AI-generated work simply by entering in the right prompt creates huge job insecurity concerns for human artists in a field that's already extremely difficult to make a living in. As it stands, many people are now really concerned that it might replace real people altogether, and those fears are not exaggerated. But the question is, would you watch a movie or read a book if you knew that it was entirely made with AI? Or would you support human creators above everything else? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.